Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back, or welcome to another Bangs audio review. Hope everybody's having a great day today. It is Monday, April 15th. Probably not. Some people are not having a very good day today, and my heart goes out to you if you're struggling on tax day, because that just kind of sucks. But anyway, if you are and you're taking a break to watch my video review, I hope you enjoy it. It takes your mind off things for a minute. We are going to do the Yume II from SeeAudio today, and I have a little bit of a history with SeeAudio, and it's not necessarily a super positive one at this point, although I did not dislike. In fact, I really did kind of like the Tangzu and SeeAudio Encounter Edition, the Shim and Lee. I did a review of that a few weeks back, and actually it was a pretty decent value set, I think. But my other experience was with the Yume Ultra, and that did not go so well. It's kind of the set that I always end up kind of picking on. I feel a little bit bad about it, but it's over $200, so not that bad. Question is, does the Yume II, the predecessor to the Yume Ultra, does this fix what was wrong with the Ultra, kind of in reverse? So that's what we're going to find out today. We'll do a quick spec and unboxing for you, just to make it official. So Yume Mark II, it is a single DD 2BA configuration, and you've got an LCP for the dynamic driver. I believe it is 10mm, and then mids is a Sonian balanced armature, and then the highs is a Knowles balanced armature. So on paper, it's got good internals for sure. Let's see, sensitivity is 113 decibels, impedance of 17 ohms, frequency 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, what's typical stuff there. And yeah, 6N OFC plated copper cable, 2-pin connection, 3.5 termination. There you go. What comes in the box is, well, first of all, the IEMs. They are shiny, but total fingerprint magnets. Like, I don't even think you have to touch them to get fingerprints on them. When you polish them up, they're quite shiny. That's really nice chrome-like on the finish, with the gold accents in the middle there. They're pretty. I like them. They feel good too. Like, the build quality is definitely excellent. I feel like they should be. This is a $200 IEM. At least it was on release. Probably can be had for less now if you find it on sale. But yeah, I would imagine the build quality should be this good for $200. You can see that I actually used quite a few different tips on these. I did not use stock, although they are in the box, so I'll show you what you get. But I did use the Asla crystal tips for my tips of choice. Also tried them with TRI Clarions and the Divinus Velvets and the Dunu S and S tips, which were pretty good on them too. They took to different tips very well, actually. I just like the seal the best with these. Seal and sound. Inside of the box, which you guys can see, has a waifu. SeeAudio likes their waifus, that's for sure. This was not nearly as hard to open the last time I tried to open it, so I wonder what I'm doing wrong. Oh, just at a bad angle, I guess. There's the waifu, fairly toned down. If you look at the collab with Zeos, the Rinko, that's the single DD planar combination. I'm not sure which one's the DD because they both are. Kidding. Anyway, a bit toned down from that. Some people thought that the Rinko's packaging was a bit over the top. Whatever. Don't care one way or the other. Inside of the box, you have a nice folder for the paperwork that comes along with it. More waifu is going on there. That looks like maybe it's a postcard or something. Yeah, it is a postcard. Nifty. That's kind of a neat little extra. Oh yeah, speaking of extras, there's the pin. That's got the same picture as the front of the box there. Here is the stock cable, which is dainty. You know, it's fairly thin, but feels premium. This feels the same to me as the cable that came with the Yume Ultra, except the Yume Ultra had it was a modular cable, so you could actually change. This is a stock 3.5, which I, again, did not use. Sorry. I just, you know, it came with other cable on it. This is a loaner set from my friend, Swarzable, again, which is fantastic. Thank you, dude. But the cable it came with attached to it, not the stock cable. We'll get into that in a minute. There you go, stock tips of various sizes. It looks like they're all kind of, yeah, they're all like normal bore. They just have 5 different sizes in there. Extra small, small, medium, medium, large, large. That's kind of a nice thing, you know, because everybody's ears are different. So kind of do like that idea. And that's a little cover for the IEMs, which I'm going to keep in there, even though it's upside down. So there you go, unboxing. Unboxing, I would say adequate. Not adequate, that's mean. Very nice unboxing. Something you would expect in the $200 range. Absolutely nice to look at. Good accessories, good cable. All of that stuff, I'd say, absolutely on par with where it is price-wise. Hey, there's Sunny. Hey, Sunny. Cable. This is an IVIPQ cable. I don't know the model, but if you look it up, look up their cables or go to their store on AliExpress, you will see this cable. It is about a $50 cable. It comes with, you know, it's a modular cable with the L-shaped termination on it. 4.4, of course, on this. The cable's gorgeous. I don't know. You know, I've got the color changing light there in the lamp for some ambiance, but it is a really cool, like, light blue, purplish, not purple, pinkish red, intermixed there with some coppery colors. I like this cable. It sounds great too. Anyway, so far, you know, the case is also very nice. Velvet on the inside. Little snap here to keep your sort of IEMs from floating around in there. You just loop the cable through there. And very solid. It's kind of like, with this ring, I thee wed. 6 of the most dangerous words in the English language. But yeah, it looks like a ring box, like a nice engagement ring box, which is very cool. And the little, you know, sort of Playboy ears on the top there too to sort of round out the experience. No complaints on the unboxing. The accessories, the case, build quality, everything is premium. We've got a little cold running through the house right now, so I apologize, but I've got my lemon honey tea going on there, lemon ginger honey tea going on there. It's definitely helping to keep the voice going. All right, well, so there's our intro. There's the unboxing, there are the specs, there are the accessories, there we go, timestamp. On to the more important things, I guess the most important things, and that's going to be frequency response, sound quality, comps, etc. So right off the bat, I want to say that this was a marked improvement from the Ultra. Why, you say? Well, pretty easily actually, because it actually has some bass response. Is it a tremendous amount of bass? No, but it's there. It's got bass. So this set is, in my opinion, how I heard it, definitely pretty balanced, right? So you've got a good amount of mid bass. You've got some sub bass rumble. It didn't pick up the lowest of the low hits from a couple of the tracks, like from Drake or Slaughter to Prevail. Like the lowest of the lows were sort of there, you know, barely there, but not like you really felt them necessarily. But the mid bass is very much impactful, very much present, and definitely helps to balance out the rest of the frequency response, because this is not necessarily a super spicy, airy, or sibilant set, although it does touch on a little bit of sibilance. But what it does have is in the upper mids and lower treble, some intensity, and unfortunately, just like its successor, the Ultra, some graininess, some sort of, really just hard to put a finger on it, but just call it some kind of harshness, right? The main difference here being that because of the mid bass and because of the mids both being fairly good like strengths and fairly well fleshed out, it doesn't come off as quite as harsh as the Ultra did. The Ultra just didn't have any bass to speak of, so that sort of little graininess, not gritty, but a little graininess, was just in your face. Like the upper mids, the ear gain, the lower treble, everything was just kind of like, in your face, and just, it was too much for me. I could see that set being good for basically acoustic music and clean vocals. That's kind of where I put it. And that's not what I listen to mostly, so that's why I gave them away. However, this set does have a more balanced signature, as I was saying, so it is a more versatile set and a more enjoyable set because of that versatility, in my humble opinion. When I was running through the test tracks, what stood out to me as being positives were things like pop and K-pop, so Pink, New Jeans, Dreamcatcher. Also did really well with R&B and hip-hop. Even though it doesn't hit those super low drops, it does a really nice job with the mid bass and the lower bass, going into sub bass, where I feel like that is very enjoyable. And those tracks, typically speaking, are not super congested in the upper mids, which is where this set kind of falls short in both its presentation, resolution, and definition. Things get congested. If they are congested, they're congested. It doesn't really compensate for those. Also, other tracks that it did well with, let's say it did hip-hop, R&B, like Rihanna sounded great. As I said, Pink sounded really good. Melody Gardot, her voice, that's more jazz, obviously, but her voice came across very nicely. It was not too heady or intoxicating. It was very well placed and very, very sweet. Very nicely done. On the other end of things, what this did not do well, metal, harder rock tracks, anything that has sort of the more action going on in the upper mid-range. So classic rock, especially the live recordings, Jimi Hendrix in particular, just too muddled in the upper mids, like just too, kind of harsh, kind of disjointed, kind of just not good. The other part of it, in metal and hard rock and classic rock, that it didn't really do super great with was that bass, like bass guitar and bass drum. The bass is a little bit bloated. Like, it's not super precise. It's not a super fast transients. It's impactful. It's there. It's present, but it's not super detailed and it's not super well controlled. So that kind of did it in for that kind of music for me anyway. Just like, grunge, Soundgarden, not a good match. On the other hand, it did handle like the more calmer, I guess you would say, like Highly Suspect sounded pretty good, and so did Highly Suspect and Royal Blood. So the tracks from those guys, which are produced very well and very cleanly, presented very well on this. So that's the other thing that it likes. It likes high resolution tracks over lower resolution tracks. So if you're getting into the at least 24-bit depth, 24-bit bit depth, and at least I would say 48 at a minimum on the kilohertz, like maybe better at 96, even better at 192 if you can find those tracks. Higher resolution, the better the set did perform. So it's kind of like not super forgiving of lower quality recordings, to the point where they just really weren't enjoyable to listen to. But you know, that being said, I feel like what it does well, and if those are the musical genres that you tend to like, this is a very good performing set. It's not great. It's a year and a half old. It has probably been surpassed at this point for less expensive, right? So things like the CKLVX D41, things like the Chopin, things like the quintets, all just handle things in that upper mid-range, lower treble much better, and are probably less sibilant. The closest set that I had to these, so this is the competition that I tended to, these are the comps that I tended to stick with. My Idun 2 Golden, I felt like outside of everything except for the bass, that the Idun was better, smoother, more detailed, more precise, and even in the bass definitely more precise, just not as much quantity, not as much volume. So even though this set for some people might be lacking in the bass, and for some people might be a little bit sibilant, it just presents things overall in a much smoother and more enjoyable way. In the whole scheme of things, like in all of the musical genres that I tried these on, I felt like these performed better overall. But, you know, in some cases, with hip-hop and R&B in particular, the Yume II, I would take over the Idun because of the bass response on these, and how it presents those bass hits, those synth bass hits in particular, really good. Now, if I just throw the bass boost on my, Zendak V2, then it's like not even close. Like the Idun is definitely like a much better set. But that is kind of cheating. So, if you don't mess with bass boost, if you don't mess with EQ, and you just want something that's got a nice amount of bass to it right out of the gate, the Yume II does well. Yeah, I still like these. Still in my top 5. They float around the 2 to 4 sort of range for me, just because I love what they do and how they do it so smoothly, and they're not for all genres. There are certain things they do better, just like the Yume II. I just think they do more genres better than the Yume II. Overall, my feelings on this set were that on the tracks that it played well, it played them really, really well. Like, very enjoyable. On the tracks that it didn't play well with, I just had to move to the next track. Like, I didn't want to waste my time listening to something that was gritty or grainy. And that is going to be fully dependent on what types of music you like as to whether or not this set would work for you. So, just to go over it again, no metal, no hard rock. Live recordings are not super great. What is great? Definitely hip-hop, definitely R&B, definitely pop, just regular old rock, and K-pop, like those kinds of things, and some jazz. Those things did very well with them. Excuse me, one more time. I think we're just about done, but I want to be able to finish up and not totally lose my voice in the process. Yes. So, metal rating on these is a 6. Overall, they don't get a highly recommended. They get a recommendation, but only for specific use cases. If you like those musical genres that I talked about that they performed well with. And then there's the price. and the price is 200. And 200, you know, it's a race to zero. Maybe not zero, but it's a race down right now. Things are getting better and less expensive at the same time, which is fan-freaking-tastic for us consumers. So they're probably outdone at this point by less expensive sets. Maybe something like the Nova, for example, right? Going to give you a better overall experience, more versatility, definitely as good a sound quality, if not maybe even slightly better. You know, keep that in mind, because the Nova is at its most expensive, $150, and usually can be had for a lot less. Now, if I could get these for $150, they might actually get a recommendation from me. But for $200, it's a no. For $200, they're too expensive nowadays for what they are able to do and not do. And that's, I think, about where we're going to leave it. I am happy that I actually liked a set from SeeAudio proper, not a collab. And it definitely sort of got me over the Yume Ultra experience that I had. Now I'm like, oh yeah, okay, so they do make a good IEM. I just didn't get a good one first time around. So that's it. You know, it's a good IEM. It's a little pricey now, and there's certain things it doesn't do as well as it does other things. So I feel like that it might have been passed by. I feel like that the Dune Golden, even though this is a full year older than this, is still more relevant than this set. For me. Anyway. Yeah, and lastly, one more reminder on the IVIPQ. It's like, say, IVIPQ cable on AliExpress. At some point I'm going to be ordering one of these, because it is just flat out gorgeous. That's going to wrap it for today, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for your interactions, your comments, your likes, your subscriptions. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love y'all. Nothing but peace to you. We'll see you.